Hello, everybody. Welcome to Another Man's Nostalgia, where we revisit everybody's favorite shows, movies, and games from the mid-90s to the mid-2000s. Don't worry, we will take the bullet for you.
Ooh, adding the for you.
We will
That's
take
right.
the
All right.
bullet for you.
All right, Pod Boys. That's our group chat name. So this week, we revisited Animaniacs. We watched episodes 1 through 15.
Yes.
Which is not the full season. The full season is like 60.
We should have watched it.
We should have watched all 60.
If we were committed, we would have watched them all.
But
I guess we're not that committed.
We're not that committed.
All right, roll the theme.
It's time for Animaniacs, and we're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax, you'll laugh when you relax. We're Animaniacs. Come join the Warner Brothers
and the Warner Sister Dot.
Just for fun, we run around the Warner movie lot. They lock us in the tower whenever we get caught. But we break loose and they're gone loose, and now you know the plot. We're Animaniacs. Dot is cute and Yakko yaks. Wacko packs away the snacks while the plankton plays the sax. We're Animaniacs. Meet Pinky and the brain who wants to rule the universe. Put feathers flock together, slappy wax them with their purse. Martin chases Mindy while Rita sings a verse. The writer's script, we have no script, why bother to rehearse? We're Animaniacs. We have pay or play contracts. We're zany to the max, there's baloney in our slacks. We're Animani, totally insane. Cockamamie, Animaniacs. Those are the facts.
It's a pretty good theme.
It is a pretty good theme.
Oh, it's Justin. This is your show, right?
This is my show, and I think it should be pretty obvious why it's my show.
Yeah.
It's pretty freaking crazy. That's all I gotta say.
It's a weird
the
show.
themes. I don't even know if we have to tell what the plot of this, because the theme song tells the
There
whole
is no plot.
of
That's the
Yeah.
the
point.
show.
Yeah, every once in a while they would have like an intro where they'd kind of show you how the characters came to be. Like it was like 5 out of the 15 we watched, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, everything else is just batshit crazy.
This is a hard show to kind of review in a way.
It's gonna be really weird
because, when you have 90 plus episodes, they're gonna have some hit and miss, and they don't air them in order technically. This is in aired order, I believe, that we watched it. But when you watch them as a kid,
Why does it matter though? It's just sketches.
well, I know I'm just saying like it's different from another any TV show we've reviewed.
Yeah.
'Cause we haven't really reviewed anything that hasn't been like had some sort of semblance of story.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is kind of like going, okay, which ones did we like? Which ones did we see? So this is going to be a little scatterbrained.
It is.
So
I mean, it's just gotta be like Batman.
Yeah. It's well. Because
there were at least self-contained stories in Batman.
Yeah.
This one is just kind of
it's sketches and it's
sketches.
very
and
odd.
And
very
puns.
quick.
So many puns.
There's a lot of fun.
So I watched Animaniacs as a kid.
Uh-huh.
I believe it came on before Batman.
Did it?
During the after school. I loved it. I think Tiny Toons and Animaniacs were back to back in some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it as a kid.
So was it
Tiny Toons did do a cameo in the show, didn't they?
I can't remember.
Porky the Pig was
like-
in one episode.
Yeah.
Well, that's Looney Tunes. That's not Tiny Toons.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
You got Looney Tunes.
You're good.
Well, no,
Chris just rolled his eyes
there's a
like,
very
"Oh my
complete
God,
distinction.
I'm so sorry.
Because Looney Tunes is the original. Tiny Toons is like remember Baby Muppets?
It's like
Muppet
the second
Babies?
generation.
Yeah.
You remember Muppet Babies? It's kind of like that. They're the little kid versions of them, but not really. It's
Well,
not like little bugs, but they're supposed to be the kid versions of it.
Okay.
It's not little bugs though.
Is it him
It's
and
not baby bugs.
That's why I just said.
When you said, I thought you said it is baby bugs.
No, that's why I just said I said he's not though.
Yeah.
It's like Muppet Babies, but he's not little
bugs,
but he's meant to be little bugs, if that makes sense.
So, okay, so you watch
get
this
it?
every
Do you
day. You watch this, what?
Do you get it,
No,
Chris?
I'm glossing over it. So you watch this every day, Justin?
I tried to, yeah.
Okay,
That Freakazoid, all those shows.
Okay. See, I remembered some of this. I kind of remember a little bit of it, but not a lot. I think I probably just watched this like when it was on and nothing else was on. This is like my filler show, I think. Never quite understood what was going on exactly. I still
feel like
don't.
all of the shows that me and Justin watched were your filler shows,
Yeah.
except for your shows that you watched.
No, it's true. I never really watched like the Fox Kids and stuff like that. I was about Nickelodeon and stuff. So the only time I really watched this is when like something wasn't on Nickelodeon, and I just stumbled upon it. So
It was.
you liked it when you were
I
little?
liked it when I was little.
Yeah.
I didn't probably watch it as much as Justin, but I did watch it.
Right.
I wouldn't say every day, but I watched it every week at least.
Okay. Gotcha. You have any
I
fun
remember a
facts?
lot of it though.
Do you?
Like a lot of the skits and a lot of the things that they have that repeats.
Yeah. I remember
Like-
I remember the characters. Like all the characters from all the different sketches, like the pigeons and the old lady squirrel or something, whatever she was, and then obviously Pinky and the Brain, which we can talk about.
Snappy.
Snappy, yeah.
Is it Snappy?
Yeah, something like that.
This is your show.
I don't
I thought
remember.
you would know this. Okay, never
All right.
mind.
So, Justin, you have any fun facts?
All right, so Tom Ruger.
No, fun fact scene.
Fun facts, Steve.
Fun facts theme. Oh yeah, I didn't think of anything last night. Let's see. The Animaniacs fun facts theme. Boom. That's all I got today.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
I think
You don't
could've-
have Dot saying something ridiculous at the end of this.
I think you could have had facts and Animaniacs kind of rhyme with each other, but you didn't go that
you
route.
know what?
So
If you're gonna
you
destroy
could have.
me-
You said fun facts, but you said Animaniacs fun facts theme. You could-
I mean,
okay, it's fine.
I think we're the only one that criticizes him on this.
We do.
Everyone else loves it, and we're just
Look,
like, okay, this is.
I try my
stupid.
best here.
I don't even know why we have fun facts.
Okay,
so there were a lot of people involved in this. Most famously Spielberg.
yeah.
He was a producer. He wasn't involved in every single little thing, but he was involved in development
Okay.
a lot. Tom Ruger was a huge part of this. He created the Tiny Toons, so Tiny Toons was before this in 1990. He created
Really?
Buster Bunny, like I said, to parallel Bugs Bunny. So it's supposed to be the little kid version of Bugs Bunny, but not. Okay.
Let's talk about that again.
So
He made a little kid version
I'm
of
just
Bugs
kidding, dude.
I hate you. I hate all of you. So, he was inspired. He was literally inspired by the water tower. All right. So he proposed that a group of siblings, all right, and basically animation style, like who live out of the water tower, to for a show. Do y'all know what animals they are?
They make a lot of jokes about that. No one knows what they are.
yeah,
They actually have an official name for them.
Really?
Yeah.
it's
So
called Animaniacs.
no. So they got so many questions about it. They finally just named them cartoonist characterists.
Cartoonist characters.
All right.
Cartoonist characterists. That was pretty funny.
That's the species that they are.
Yes, because they actually have a show Bible. So they have like a show Bible about all the references and everything they make in it.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't buy that for this podcast.
I don't know if something you can buy or if it's like something the creators made.
Oh, okay.
Like to keep track of stuff. I'm sure you can buy.
You have
it.
to, yeah, they probably had to. It'd be so hard to keep track of what's going on in this show.
So let's talk about the three siblings.
Okay.
So you got Yakko.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite.
That's the taller one. Yeah. It
That's
is.
pretty. So they were modeled after certain people.
Okay.
So you know who Yakko was modeled after?
I'm guessing Bugs Bunny. No.
Nope.
Is it a real person?
It's a real person.
Is this your trivia?
It's part of it.
I don't know.
Groucho Marx.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
So Groucho Marx was the leader of the group back in I think the 30s or 20s, something like that, called the Marx Brothers. They made very early comedy movies,
Oh.
and they're really funny. You like all the irrelevant humor, all the humor that you see, like people making fun of each other, like that kind of stuff. That's what the Marx Brothers really made popular.
Okay.
So they made their living off of basically being mean to people in movies.
Okay.
So that was the kind of comedy they did. Duck Soup, things like that. Night at the Opera. Those are pretty famous Marx Brothers movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wacko. Who do you think Wacko was modeled after?
I don't. Any comedy. Any comedian.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay, no. I'll tell you, it's not anybody in comedy.
Really?
They are British, though.
Is this like a historical figure?
Yes.
I don't know.
They are a celebrity.
They're a celebrity,
Monty
but not a
Python.
comedy.
No, music.
From British?
British music pop stars.
One of the Beatles.
I don't know.
One of the Beatles.
Ringo Starr.
Ringo Starr.
All right.
Good. Yep, he's inspired after his voice and everything. He's inspired of Ringo Starr.
It is. I didn't think it was weird.
No,
that,
I hear that.
yeah, I didn't think it was weird that he was British and the other two were not. But he kind of went in and out of it. Like sometimes he kind of sounded Australian, and then sometimes he sounded British. But that's okay.
And Dot was modeled after a lot of different female comedians. This is one of the original girls from Saturday Night Live.
Julia Dreyfus.
No, original. She's an '80s cast member.
I don't know.
Jane Curtin.
Nope. Do you know who the other one was?
Nope.
Gilda Radner.
Oh, okay.
So she was a big inspiration for Dot. So they were all modeled after them, and obviously
obviously the kids know this.
Yes.
Watching this.
Yeah.
Obviously it was
Who was
way.
it? The Marx
1920, 1980.
But you kind of see how deep they went
Yeah,
with
no,
a lot
that's
of this
true.
stuff.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the references they make are extremely old Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting because I can get a lot of this stuff.
They
Well,
have
but-
a lot of pop culture in this show from that time period.
There's
that
a
it was
lot of
made
time.
in,
There's a
like,
lot of
the
current pop
90s.
culture,
Right.
and there's a lot of old Hollywood pop culture too.
Well, and like nowadays, they don't shoot movies and stuff on those lots anymore. They only really shoot like TV shows there. So I think like that was kind of like what they're kind of showing. Like this is I think you're right. Well, it's also weird that they say they made these characters, the three of them, in like the 30s, right? Like that's what that intro says that they like.
Was it the 30s?
It seems really old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they basically then they got them locked up and then they
Yeah,
escaped.
I guess you can explain that. Yeah. So very much what the show is like three characters. I can explain the plot, I guess.
Okay.
It's these three people were made back then
Plot.
when they made like all the Looney Tunes and stuff. But they were two like out of, and like I guess whenever they make these animated characters, they all come to life. And then these three were so crazy they locked them in the Warner Brothers water tower, and then they escaped. 60 years later in the 90s, and then this all takes place then, and then so they kind of like make their own sketches, it seems, or I don't really know what but then pretty much the whole thing is just like
There's lots of craziness.
it's like
It's
SNL. It's
yeah.
like 5-minute or 10-minute long skits that they do, and they have like characters that like come back, like Pinky and the Brain and the Pigeons, and then but then like it's also plots with them where they're like terrorizing people of history and just terrorizing people in general. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it is.
which is great.
Some of it's great.
Yeah, there's some rough parts. But the
yeah.
good thing is, like you said, it's only about 5 minutes a little section.
It's true.
So if you don't like
It's
something,
about 10.
you'll probably like something.
The
something else.
Animaniacs and the other plots were about 10 minutes, and then they had like little features in between sometimes that were like 5 minutes.
Usually the Animaniacs parts are the best in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't really
Usually.
like any of the others. So Animaniacs includes not just the Warner Brothers or the Warner siblings. It includes, what, like 10 other characters?
What do you mean?
Like the show.
the
It
psychologists and
the-
stuff.
The show includes about 10 other characters,
Yeah,
not
right.
just the sibling
Right,
brothers.
yeah.
So
Like
it
they have
includes-
different like stories they do.
Yeah.
And one is the old lady squirrel who like used to be a movie star. Now she's
Snappy.
like, yeah, which I found the least. I thought that the most boring.
Yeah,
out
I
of the sketches.
I didn't
Seriously,
like
I
hers either.
actually really liked her.
Really?
Not because it was really funny,
course you
but I
did,
just thought it was
Justin.
kind of clever.
And then you
The
have
setup was clever.
Of course you liked it, Justin.
I say it was funny. I just thought it was clever.
yeah, and then you have the pigeons, which is kind of based on Goodfella.
That was my least favorite.
Yeah,
I
which is
think.
like mobster
Like the
pigeons, which is kind of
mobsters.
funny because
Which-
it's New York and it's
Do you know
pigeons.
what movie that's based
Okay,
off
so-
of?
Goodfellas.
Yeah, they're each based off a character from Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Why is the whole thing based in California and then there's storylines based in New York?
Why not? Why not?
Well, there's probably a New York set on the Warner Brothers lot.
But it's a cartoon, Justin.
Ding.
Well, it's a
I
cartoon
don't
though.
think
They can
so.
just draw it.
Huh?
It's a cartoon. So they can just draw it.
No, you set this up as a world.
it is a world.
You had
is
you had
a
this
universe.
whole theory that they came to life when they drew them.
No, they do because Porky Pig is seen driving into the wall.
I know, so I'm just trying to put it into.
Alright,
A
whatever.
logical sense.
Okay.
I'm trying to put it into your world
Yeah.
here.
All right, and then you have the dog and the little kid,
Which is my favorite.
which is pretty funny. He has to keep saving them.
Okay, so the reason I like it so much is there's no puns, there's no gags. It's just a cartoon.
It is no talking.
humor.
It's just
there's no
yeah,
talking.
Yeah.
Other
It's
than
literally the
I
little
love
girl.
you. Bye bye.
It's literally the little girl getting lucky with the dog
Is
saving
it a girl
her.
or is it a boy?
It's a little girl.
It's a girl.
Oh, I thought it was a boy.
I think.
Okay.
I think her name.
It could be a boy. I don't know.
We don't really know. It's okay. And then my favorite was Pinky and the Brain, which was great. I thought
Which got its own TV show.
it got its own
because of
TV
it.
shows.
Yeah.
And the plots of those were just so funny to me. I don't know why. We can talk about it later. Okay, so I guess we talk about it now. Why not? Because there's not really a structure here. So just like this show.
We're just going.
Yeah, so I like Pinky and the Brain a lot. I thought the plots were very creative, like the one where he's trying to win a trivia show.
That's my favorite.
And
the first one.
Yeah, and he like makes Pinky turn off the television, and then that's his last question to win the money to take over the world.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Okay.
And I do that a lot with all of them.
Is that the first episode
I think
of
it
Pinky
is.
and the
I think
Brain?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Because I think that's the only one where you actually see the Animaniacs singing the theme.
They sing the theme
Yes.
song.
The Warner Brothers singing
Yeah.
the theme.
But,
After that,
are you asking like once they actually made the show Pinky and the Brain, did they use that?
No. I'm
Oh.
just saying, was that the first time Pinky and the
That
Brain
was,
yes.
appeared on TV?
I like how it was just a mouse in a suit, in like a big old suit.
Yeah, it's
tiny
got
head.
Brain's head.
I think the whole idea of that is hilarious. Like the whole idea of mice trying to take over the world, and they get close sometimes.
But then a Brain always forgets one thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Pinky's the one who could save it.
Pinky's
So,
little
okay.
like nar thing was a little annoying. Though. I
Yeah.
didn't really like that.
It says one's a genius and the other's insane.
Right.
I've always heard rumors that it's like switch
The other way
of what
around.
you think. It's
Fan
like
theories, I
Brain's
love 'em.
insane.
I
and then
definitely
Pinky's the
think
genius.
that.
It could
You
be.
think that?
I think that's pretty true. I think it can go both ways.
Yeah,
Has
I
it
could-
ever been confirmed?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the intention. I think it's just one of those fan theories. I hate them.
I think it's just a fun thing where you're like, oh, look, Brain could be insane too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of like a fun thing.
I was just
It's
wondering
fun.
if Spielberg did that like on purpose.
Well, you have to remember that Spielberg didn't have too much involvement in this.
Right.
He's just a producer.
He's
So he
president.
did check off on stuff, but he really wasn't involved too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, he did make a good chunk of decisions, but I think it was all... I couldn't find a lot about Spielberg's involvement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't go too deep in depth into it.
I can tell.
But
You didn't buy the Bible when you could have bought the Bible.
but I do know that he didn't have a lot of say. Like
Right.
he a lot of major decisions he was a part of.
Even though his name is in the title
Yeah.
of the whole entire.
Well, he was you're
Theme
gonna put a
song.
big name on there.
Right.
It's
No,
like
I mean-
it's like Christopher Nolan. He produces something.
Yeah.
He's gonna put his input into certain things, but it was really the writers who did most of the work.
Okay.
That kind of-
Yeah. Okay, so, and then let's talk about the other sketches. Let's see if, was there any like...
Yeah, I was about to say, is there any specific sketch that you remember when you were little?
the mime thing. I remember.
Yeah, I remember the mime too.
The mime
mime's
time. Yeah, that was pretty funny. It was pretty much a mime acting like something that all of a sudden something just falls on his
And
head.
then he always gets hurt.
So
That's all I
stupid.
remember.
That's the only thing I kind of remembered when I watched this, and I think I wrote that down.
Do you remember any of the songs?
No. Let's talk about the best song.
Yes.
The country song was incredible.
Countries of the world.
That was so
Yeah.
cool.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobago, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam.
That was his.
Have you ever seen it before?
No.
That was
that's
his
the
very-
first thing I remember.
Well,
That was his very first take he ever did on it. He got correct the first time.
are you serious?
Yep.
I was wondering, did it fast forward in studio, or did he just say it that fast?
He
the
said
whole
it that
time?
fast. You can find videos of him doing it live. He'll do it with like a concert, a full band behind
That
him.
is impressive.
That's cool.
India, Pakistan, Burma, Afghanistan, Thailand, Nepal, and Bhutan, Cambodia, Malaysia, then Bangladesh, Asia, and China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, Laos, Japan, Indonesia, the Philippines, Taiwan, Sri Lanka, New Guinea, Sumatra, New Zealand, and plenty of Vietnam, Indonesia, Morocco, Uganda, Angola, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, Botswana, Mozambique, Zambia, Swaziland, Zambia, Guinea, Nigeria, Ghana. Manila, Soto, and Callaway, Togo, the Spanish Sahara is gone. Down to Nigeria, China, Liberia, Egypt, Benin, Gabon, Tanzania, Somalia, Kenya, and Mali, Sierra Leone, and Algeria, Dahomey, Namibia, Senegal, Libya, Cameroon, Congo, Niger, Ethiopia, Guinea, Bissau, Madagascar, Guatemala, and Gabon, Ghana, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Yugoslavia, Korea, Mauritania, and Catalonia, Monaco, Liechtenstein, Malta, and Palestine, Fiji, Australia, Sudan.
Well, it wasn't okay. You started out, you're like, okay, I see what they're doing here, but then how it gets faster and faster as it goes.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to think that he does like the cadences, like he knows like how many syllables is in each one, and that he's gonna end on a rhyme. Whoever wrote that was like probably the most creative part of the show. I think that was really cool.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about something. When it came to every episode, it had like a music number. Like, who wrote all those music numbers?
All right, so the music is really interesting. Chris, you'll really like this.
Wait. What do you mean it has a musical number?
Every single episode has them singing at one point.
I guess I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll really appreciate this, Chris. So this is one of the things Spielberg wanted. He wanted to make sure that every single show had its own original score.
That's cool.
So every show, that music you hear is original based on that show.
Huh.
Yeah.
So just like the old Looney Tunes shows, like sometimes most shows will reuse like spots here and there. Most of it, every single one has original music set to each different whatever sketch you're in.
You really
Right.
didn't notice that?
I guess I didn't. I don't know. I mean, I knew there was a lot of music in it, and like you can tell there's a lot of like big bands, music in the background and stuff. I guess I just never really noticed them like singing.
Yeah.
Or,
I would say probably episode 6. I realized, wow.
Yeah.
Every single episode they've sang in something.
Yeah,
So I think the first few episodes, in my opinion, were some of the best.
I agree.
Those are the ones I remember the
Out of the
most.
first 15, they were some of the funniest.
The way they introduced sorry if you don't mind, the very first episode is they showed the little history of how they were made and everything, and then the very first sketch with them, I think, is a really good way to introduce them with the psychologist.
One of my favorite things is he's talking to Wacko.
The psychologist.
And yeah, he's like,
Now then, Wacko, let's you and I talk,
Okay,
Good. What's on your mind?
my hat.
No. Your hat is on your head. What is on your mind?
My skin?
No, that's on your head. What's on your mind?
Oh, I got it. My hair.
it was so good.
That was good.
I
No,
was
my favorite was Yakko's on that one.
What did he do again? What did
Huh?
he say on that?
Because he was like, okay, so
Now then, Jaco, let us do a little word association. I'll say a word, and you say any word that you think of. Any word that comes to mind.
Brain.
No, we haven't started.
Begun.
No, wait.
Yield.
No, stop!
Cease.
Silence!
Quiet.
Enough!
Plenty.
Would you please listen?
Here.
That's right. I forgot about that. That was good. And then
that's the skit I remember the most about Animaniacs.
It was
that
that's
first
pretty
skit.
classic. Like you can't usually get better than that, except in my opinion, the Michelangelo one.
Michelangelo was really good.
I
kinda
like
surprised.
Michelangelo.
I love seeing the
I
Ninja
like-
Turtles. That was hilarious.
I like
And he
My-
said they stink.
my favorite Animaniacs, like I guess clips, was the war one
the war
where they
one.
went to war for the anvils.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
I can't remember that one off the top of my head.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
So that Yakko becomes king of this like anvil like castle, or it's like a country or whatever. It's like the country that makes anvils, and he becomes king of it. And then the neighboring country wants to go to war because he wants to take all the anvils.
That's right.
I don't remember this one.
It was
Really?
It was kind
I
of.
must not have written it down.
I thought it was cool.
I must not have written it down.
I remember the wheel morality too.
All right, so
Wheel of morality.
do you know
Wheel of
why they
morality,
had the wheel?
turn,
do you know
turn.
why that was there?
Why?
It's not just some random thing. It was to fill time when an episode was running short.
Really?
So if they needed an extra minute or two, they would just do the wheel of morality.
I was wondering that because some episodes had
They
it and
have
some
it,
episodes
yeah.
didn't.
Well, I thought this show. Okay, like if you had a kid who like this was his favorite show of all time, and he like watched it, that kid would be like a complete terror because every episode is about them terrorizing grown-ups, and then literally like I think it's the first wheel of morality. The thing is. I wrote it down. If at first you don't succeed, blame it on your parents.
I thought
Like
that was good.
if kids like took this show to heart, they'd be like demon kids. Like this show is ridiculous. Oh man, but yeah, I want to go back to the Michelangelo thing. I think one of my favorite scenes of this whole thing. Michelangelo's like this big buff guy, right? And he punches a block, and it turns into the statue of David. I cracked up. That was so funny.
My whole favorite speech there is when he's trying to get the kids to help him paint. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we'll help you paint."
Wait a minute. You expect us poor innocent children to climb up dangerous scaffolding and paint naked people all over a church?
We'll do it!
But we're not doing it for the sake of art, and we're not doing it for the sake of money. No, we're doing it because we like painting naked people.
that was my favorite line. I was gonna mention that.
That was really good. And then at the end, he's really upset, and then because they drew E.T. instead, and then
Spielberg
comes in, which is great. So good.
Did he voice himself?
That's
I'm pretty sure he did.
That's cool.
It didn't say it anywhere, but he's on the voice cast.
I think my favorite, like them terrorizing adults thing, was when they went and saw Buddha, and the question
the questions.
The question they asked him was hilarious. It was,
Here's our question. Why do hot dogs come in packages of 10 and hot dog buns come in packages of 8?
I don't know.
the show is so stupid.
It's so great.
I honestly like the premise of the show. I really do.
What do you mean the premise
I like,
of the show?
okay, so I like that they're cartoons and they realize they're cartoons and they can do like cartoon
So
stuff
this-
and everyone
this-
else is confused
Right.
like how they do everything.
Since I'm all about superheroes, this is the Deadpool of Looney Tunes or of like cartoons. They're very self-aware. They don't really stick to any kind of script or anything. They just kind of do what they want. It's like Deadpool of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
With your Deadpool shirt on. John's wearing a Deadpool shirt.
Yep.
But yeah, it's pretty
This
good.
has got to be how when people saw Looney Tunes when they first came out. It's got to be how they thought of it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This was heavily inspired by Looney Tunes.
And Looney Tunes was that way. It was like kind of self-aware. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it was a really good breaking edge cartoon.
Because you can definitely tell that a lot of the slapstick is Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, the animation itself, you can tell, is
Oh yeah.
very
Well,
Looney
I mean,
Tunes.
it's the same
Warner
company.
Brothers,
So
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people who worked on Looney Tunes cartoons worked on there. I couldn't find that. Like I tried.
Good question.
The funny thing is, it was actually more popular among teens and adults than it was kids.
I can see that. A lot of the humor, it goes a little, I think, over kids' heads and stuff.
Yeah.
There's
certain lines where they're like, oh, like wee wee.
right,
that line?
right. I really think that this show got worse as we watched. Like, I didn't really like the Picasso one very much. I thought it was kind of predictable. I could see where they're going to go with it. I didn't like the one where Wacko's a director. Like, I didn't like those episodes. I think this show definitely got
I didn't like
worse.
them so much I didn't even write them down.
Yeah, exactly.
I just kind of wrote down things I liked.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting older audience, this Animaniacs is known for having like the dirty jokes slipped in.
Yeah.
We don't get our first real big dirty joke till episode 5.
Which one was that?
But which one was it?
So first of all, before I get to that, do you know what they say after a dirty joke? A particular.
We
one.
shouldn't say this or something like that, right?
No, it's good night, everybody.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah.
what Wacko does.
Yeah.
Or Yakko, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
Yakko goes good night, everybody, because that they put that in before they put the censors because they didn't think it would get through.
Really?
So they would just put good night, everybody,
And then it got through?
and then it would get through, and they're like, oh, well, I guess that's part of
That's
it.
cool.
What was the first one?
The first good night, everybody. If I might have missed it, I don't know. But episode 5, I can't remember. I don't know why I didn't put who said it, but it says "Stop playing with my bust." So I guess they were touching a statue or
So
something.
I know it was the head guy of Warner Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was on his desk.
Yeah.
and somebody was like massaging it or something
Oh, that's right, yeah.
because they were.
It was Wacko.
That was the
Wacko and Dot were
episode-
touching it.
That was the episode where they were trying to get them to act more mature for a party.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, I got something to say. So what is with the nurse and like the sexy music every time a lady comes
kinda
into
funny.
the scene?
It's for the dads.
It's for the dads. Yeah.
It's funny, though. I mean, that's another line I remembered from this was "Hello, nurse."
Hello, nurse.
I thought one of the worst things to me was when they were Wacko had the garage remote. Do you remember this episode?
I think so. Yeah.
And they see like these girls because he pushes the remote and everything flips over. So he saw these sexy girls and he like pushed the remote and Dot's like,
that's
no,
right.
don't do that.
That's right. There was a line, too, when I think this was, I mean, weird and sexual, but it was the squirrel, the old lady squirrel. So what's her name? Snappy?
Slappy.
Slappy.
This is Slappy. Okay.
And she goes, and then I forget what the reference was, but she goes, "Man, I wish everything was as regular as clockwork." Whoa. Yeah, they went there. That's funny. That Good Night, Everybody is really interesting.
Why did they use a lot of historical figures like in the show? Do you know?
It's a
I
pretty
just
stock
was
Looney
wondering-
Tunes thing to use historical figures.
Okay.
Or dress up like a historical figure.
It just got old after a while. Like Einstein, Picasso, like none of those I thought was that good.
I thought you liked the.
I like Buddha. I like
Dalai
Buddha.
Lama.
I liked the Dalai Lama, and I liked Michelangelo. But I just felt like, I don't know, it's got kind of old after a while.
I guess.
Personally, I don't know. Maybe I just didn't like those as much. I didn't like the Picasso.
So when it came to like all the musical numbers, was it just the country or the country songs that you liked?
Yeah,
That was
There's
the only
the
one.
pirate one was really good, I thought.
the pirate one
I
was.
thought the pirate one was cool.
That's actually the pirate one was actually based off an operetta.
Yeah.
So that was actually based off real operas.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah. If you care, had the HMS Pinafore and the Pirates of Penzance.
Okay.
I don't know what those are.
I was about to say
If someone knows
I
it,
don't recognize anything you just said.
if someone knows it, there you go.
Any opera fans out there for us?
Any operetta experts, tell me why that's important and why they chose it, because I've never heard.
I am the very model of a cartoon individual. My animation's comical, unusual, and whimsical. I'm quite adept at funny gags, comedic theory. I have read from wicked puns and stupid jokes to anvils that drop on your head. I'm very good at fancy dances, I can even pirouette. Then smack the villain with a fish, I know my cartoon etiquette. I can make my face all mean and really give you quite a fright. Then make up with flowers made of real exploding dynamite.
I'll say none of it was bad. It was all creative, but none of it stood out as much to me.
I think that is the issue some people take with the show, is that there's a lot of thought and care with Animaniacs. There's a lot of good writing. It's like any, I think, comedy, especially a kids comedy, it's very hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's very up to what you think.
Yeah.
We can all like different things. There's obviously some really, really good stuff in this show. I liked the candy store episode as well.
That was
Candy
good.
store was
And
good.
we're in the candy store, and the nuns that come in, and they're like praying for Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Or the little boy telling all his random stories coming out about his friend.
That was so weird.
That runs out of the
No, I
house.
loved it.
No, it was
I remember
hilarious.
he's in a lot more episodes of Animaniacs.
Do you
So
have
is that
any-
like
Do you have any history on that? Was that like an actual little boy just telling random stories that they recorded? Because it sounded like it. Like, there's no way.
No, they came up with those stories.
Did they?
But I couldn't find anything about why
Gotcha.
they did it.
the stories were very childlike?
Yeah, and like just the rambling on. Like I feel like they'd have to. Like that's impressive. They could write that. Cause
One time Randy Beeman's aunt was sitting on the front porch, and she was in her bare feet, and she felt a lick, and she thought it was her dog licking her feet, but it wasn't. It was this crazy guy that did that a lot. Okay, bye.
So is
But
that
it's so
one of those?
random.
Is that one of those things that's like another filler thing, like
no,
the mime?
No, they just liked the idea. It doesn't go into too much detail. I'm sure there's like a big long interview where they go into a lot of detail about this, but written wise, unless I guess you have the Bible, there's not a lot of information about it.
fascinating.
Unless you really dig deep. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't dig deep.
Well, I know you didn't. You didn't buy the Bible.
Apparently,
You should have asked the creators for the Bible.
Yeah.
For this podcast.
Hey, can I have that
should have
Bible,
emailed
please?
them.
But John, you are right. I feel like nowadays it doesn't have as much of a legacy as like Batman the animated series.
No.
You know what I mean?
There's a lot of people who really like this show,
Yeah,
and there's a reboot actually coming out.
there is I saw that as a reboot.
Yeah, it's 25 years this year, and it's coming on Netflix next year actually, or Hulu, one of those two.
Yeah.
A lot of shows they don't really stand the
Test of time.
test of time
But I feel
because
like this show is
when
one-
they have a lot of cultural references that resemble that time.
I mean, it is true. There was
a lot of them.
There's a lot of Batman in this.
There's a lot of Batman. There's a lot of how hot Mel Gibson is. Which
Dot was going all
What
over
was-
him.
Didn't they all say they wanted to meet like a specific celebrity that was like super like hot at the time?
Well,
I guess?
yeah. I think it was this. They mentioned Madonna all the time on this show, which is also funny.
I just think that I don't think the show gets as much due that you probably think it deserves because there was so many other really good shows.
Yeah,
And some people still don't realize it's not just a kids show.
Right.
You know,
I mean, this show would do really, really well now, exactly the way it is, if they just had like more up to date references.
Yeah.
I think it's a testament to it because it really is. Like,
And
it's not Dragon Ball Z. It's not.
Shut up.
It didn't suck.
It's not even like Spider-Man or X-Men that we've watched, where it's like very dated animated. Like this is like I think it really holds up. It's just obviously
It's because slapstick, all that kind of stuff, this goofy stuff, it holds the test of time.
Yeah.
It's always funny to see someone get smacked with an anvil.
Yeah.
That's why Looney Tunes has always been so popular. That's why no matter what age you are, kids know who Bugs Bunny and all those people are.
I honestly enjoyed watching these episodes, though. It wasn't like
I didn't fall asleep. So
You did?
That's Justin's.
Okay.
That's
Justin's
bar.
standard right there. If I fall asleep, it's a bad
It's
show.
kinda
If I
true.
don't fall asleep, it's a good show.
Especially when I get home from work or something.
Yeah.
If I don't fall asleep during the show and I'm actually invested in it, it's obviously good because I don't just want to go, ugh, it's not a chore. Because there are some shows I'll watch when I'm not during the summer. I'm just like,
Yeah.
because it doesn't interest me.
Yeah.
I'd rather be sleeping.
I'd rather be sleeping than doing anything for the podcast, you know?
Like researching the Bible of Animaniacs.
I'm gonna hold on.
Or
I'm gonna see if
researching
this is
any
an actual
really
thing.
interesting fun facts.
Yeah, look it up. I'm kind of curious.
Okay, so the Bible has actually been. It's not something you can buy, but it's what they used to basically. It's like any show. Any show has like certain things the characters always do.
Right.
For that. So I actually did find someone that was able to photocopy it. So like Yakko, here's one. Yakko's finger snap. Yakko has the miraculous power of being able to stop his siblings' destruction with a mere snap of his fingers. They do everything I tell them.
That's weird.
Okay.
So anytime he snaps his fingers, his siblings are supposed to stop.
That's really cool that they had that down. Like they knew. That's interesting.
So you said Yakko was your favorite character, right?
Yeah.
Why was he your favorite character?
I don't know. I think he had the best lines. I think he had the lines that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
You could
why.
clearly see he was the leader of the siblings.
Yeah, he was. And usually I don't like the leader. Usually the leader is not my favorite character.
Okay, I know you're going off Power Rangers here. So.
What are you guys doing? Huh?
Yeah.
Are we fighting?
No, but like I don't like that. Who's the turtle? That's the main turtle.
Leonardo.
I don't like Leonardo. I usually just don't like the leader of like a group. Usually it's I don't know.
Usually they're very bland.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be that way.
But
Usually.
Yakko, and maybe that's it. Maybe Yakko is the blandest out of the three, and so he's a little bit more. He's not quite as crazy as the other two, and that makes him more relatable to me. I don't know.
Yakko's very quick-witted.
I think he had probably the most lines. Yakko did.
I think you're right.
Out of all three of them.
Yeah. You're probably right.
And they were probably, in my opinion, they were the best lines.
Yeah,
like all my favorite lines in probably each show came from
Dot
him.
was really good though too. Her sometimes she said something that was really, really funny. But yeah. All right. Cool.
Yakko's pretty. I like Yakko.
Yeah.
You like Yakko?
Yakko's
So,
pretty good.
one of my favorite movies growing up though was the Animaniacs movie, which was all about Wacko.
Right. I saw
And-
that when I looked up.
I've
stuff.
seen that before.
You haven't seen it? I thought it was pretty.
What is
good.
it about? Like his Wacko's Wacky Dare or something like that? It's weird.
It's a wish. He's trying to wish
Wacko's
on a
wish,
wishing
that's right.
star. I cannot remember to save my life what the wish is for though.
I bet you something crazy.
Yeah, I saw
But
that. See, I don't have any interest in seeing that because I don't really like Wacko that much, personally. You know what I mean?
I remember when I was little, I didn't like Wacko until I saw the movie.
Okay.
Because it kind of helps his little story arc that he has. It gives him more of a personality than the
He
show
saves
did.
his dear sister's life.
Yeah, Dot gets sick.
That's heavy. Oh my gosh. Dot gets sick?
Yeah,
And is
and
dying?
she's dying. I think
What the hell? That's quite
it's a dark show. Okay, it's an adult show.
weird. Okay. That's random.
Yeah, and I remember it's almost like a Christmas movie because
Oh,
it's
is
in
it?
the snow.
Okay.
Like there's somewhere cold. Or
I don't know. I
something
feel like
that.
an hour and a half of this might be a little bit
I thought it
too
was
much.
I
But
thought it was cool that it showed them escaping the water tower every episode,
yeah, and the security guard chasing him.
and they did something creative to get back into the water
Yeah.
tower at the very end.
I also liked how in all the other skits when the other things are going on, they always show the Animax running.
They have a
You
cameo.
just see them?
They have a cameo in every single episode.
That's pretty good.
It's like, hey, we're here. We're still here.
yeah.
Was that like a thing that had to happen in every single one of those episodes?
I know in the ones we watched, it did.
I think it just ties it together. You know what I mean?
Just
Like,
ties the universe together.
yeah. This universe that I've created in my head.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty good
is the same universe.
It made sense what you said.
That's what I thought.
Cartoons come alive.
I thought everybody assumed that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was...
No?
Fan theories, man. I'm all about them. Was there anything in here that you like really just like did not like or anything?
No, if I didn't like anything, I was just like, this is okay.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciated the cleverness of it. I just didn't laugh out loud.
Yeah.
There was a couple of times where I'm like, okay, so I'm skipping ahead 15 seconds. I'm skipping ahead another 15 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of those were a little rough. I thought some of the musicals were a little annoying. West Side Story was weird. So was Les Mis.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a little weird. Not great, but The Pigeons was not very good.
The Pigeons were my least favorite.
Were they?
I think so. Because at least with the other ones, even though they had a recurring shtick, it changed up a little bit.
Yeah.
So you knew Slappy was going to talk about when she was used to be on TV.
Right.
You know, but at least she changed up her jokes. You know.
Yeah.
They just didn't. It was always like, what do you mean I'm blah, blah, blah? Oh, I didn't mean that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm going to beat you up, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like...
That's a great impression. That's a great impression.
That's literally what it is.
We should put like a clip of what they were actually saying.
Stick together.
What do you mean by that? You think I'm sticky? You saying I'm some kind of gooey, sticky bun here for your breakfast enjoyment? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying...
That's it! Here's your stick, come on!
I just want to be a tough bird, you know, like you, Pesto.
What do you mean by that?
Blah, blah, blah.
Why, I said you're tough, that's all.
Blah, blah, blah.
You saying I'm an overdone piece of meat? Is that what you're saying? What am I, a plate of dry steak butt meat here to amuse you?
Blah, blah, blah.
No, I didn't say that. I just said you're tough.
Blah, blah, blah.
That's it! I'll show you.
Blah, blah, blah. But that's what it was.
Yeah, no.
Even when their first appearance.
I agree.
I'm like, okay, that was kind of funny. And then they did it again. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay, so let's go through. So the cat and the dog. Did you guys like that skit?
Cat and dog.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
it was a cat and a
the
dog.
stupid dog who got put into the pound, and then the cat wanted to get out. So the dog helped him get out. Helped the cat get out.
This was one episode?
Yeah, it was like...
Chris is so confused.
I think it only came up once.
This wasn't
Yeah, it only did.
Okay.
So it was a cat and a dog, and the dog is like an idiot and gets thrown in a pound for peeing on the carpet, and then the cat gets...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was okay.
I don't
that's
think
fine.
you remember, but you're just saying, yeah.
That's my favorite.
The pigeons, we agree, suck. The dog and the kid, they're
That's
good.
John's favorite.
That was my
They're
favorite.
good. Slappy is, I think, if you enjoy kind of the old person thing, it's fine. But I guess I can see why you wouldn't like it.
Uh-huh.
You know, because it's kind of the same thing. She meets old characters she knew, or you know, she talks about how it was. But I liked her.
I like that concept of it, where she's an actress.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
she
I get
meets
it.
people that were on cartoons.
The
like she
premise
was.
itself is interesting because there's nothing else like that. Like, there's no other character that's like an old lady who's grumpy, who used to be, and she's a squirrel because she used to be like a Looney Tune, basically, is what they were saying.
Yeah.
Pinky and the Brain, we can
My
all agree,
favorite,
is
yeah.
probably the
It's
best
good.
one.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't know. I would say Pinky and the Brain's my second favorite. That's Slappy.
Yeah.
Any other one? I can't remember. I don't think there
If-
was any other one.
if-
The mime.
The mime was
We
great,
can
but that
count
was
the
like
mime.
5 seconds.
We
I
still
mean,
count the mime still.
Okay, then you count like the little boy too who tells the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What about
that
the
little boy
therapist,
cracked me up.
the psychologist,
Ah,
Otto?
It was fine the first time. I think it got a little. Okay.
psychiatrist?
One thing I really liked about that first episode is he progressively kept pulling out his hair.
Yeah.
and
the
it
next
stayed off the whole entire cartoon. I was about to mention that.
That was so good. If people didn't watch this show, or like, and they're like listening to this, they'd be so confused. Like when you said the pigeons and all this stuff. Like it's very hard to explain what this show is.
Yeah.
Watch an episode if you haven't seen it before. It's
All right, boys.
We can go ahead and start doing reviews if y'all want.
John.
I liked the show. It wasn't what I remembered it being when I was a kid. It was very crazy. It was a lot crazier, but I liked it a lot. I liked a lot of the episodes. There was maybe 2 episodes I didn't like out of the 15 as just a whole episode, and that includes like the little people that aren't Animaniacs in it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a point.
Yeah.
I didn't like the puns as much. Like there's a
A lot of puns.
freaking ton of
A lot
puns.
of puns. Just
Just is like, yeah.
okay.
Chris.
Yeah,
You're the wild card here.
I know. Man, I liked it a lot at the beginning. It slowly got worse for me. I'm going to give you a point because I was surprised with how well done it was and how creative it was, but I would be skeptical to watch it anymore. I think we watched 15 episodes. By the end of the 15, I was like, okay, I'm glad I'm not watching anymore. I wouldn't want to watch another 15. Maybe the show isn't built for it. I'm just saying by the time I got to the end, I was like, okay,
I'm done.
no more is fine. I've watched a plenty amount. But no, for what I watched, I liked it. It was good. You get a point for me. It was not what I was expecting. Like I said, I didn't watch much of this, and I was kind of surprised. So, Justin's dancing.
Justin, he's very happy right now.
Justin, you want to forfeit?
So,
just take away the points that we just gave you.
So wait, if I choose not to do it again, I don't get the points?
You don't get 1 point.
You don't get 1 point. You get a negative point.
If I say we're not going to do it again?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because you forfeit.
Oh, by the way, I'm back at 0.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
This is really... That's so bullshit.
No, I'm back at 0.
So
you're actually at 0.5.
This is really tough
you
for me.
You got 0.5 for bad.
Oh, 0.5, okay.
This is going to sound surprising. This is a really tough decision for me.
Okay.
Because number one...
Because he's losing a point, that's why.
Because, I'm going to be honest, I think if y'all watch another 15, and we do another episode, you may not like it.
That's what I'm saying.
You may not. On the other hand, I really liked it. I think I deserve the 2 points because I do think this is a really good show.
Yeah.
I also think, though, that it has to be done in small chunks. The way we binge stuff is not what the show is meant to do.
Yep.
I
would just say yes, we'll keep watching it, and just never bring it up
again.
We have too much to watch.
Well, we tried to fit it in like 4 weeks ago, but
I'm going to say we are going to watch another set of episodes.
Okay.
But I'm going to cut it down whenever we get to it to 10.
That's fine. That's probably good. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think this time it'll be the last one we do it, and I want to pick the episodes I show y'all.
Can we?
Yeah, I like that.
Because I like the movie. Could we watch those 10 episodes and then the movie?
Maybe, or we just do the movie sometime also. Instead.
Overruled.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
This is my show, John. Please stop
I mean,
trying to step on my
it was
toes.
a suggestion. I wasn't trying to rule your show.
John has to input his opinion into everything.
Okay.
You're right, I do.
So before we start going into what we're doing next week,
absolutely nothing.
We've done.
We're taking a break. No, we're not taking a break.
We have done 2 cycles of where each of us have done 2 shows or 2 movies. So we should I thought it'd be a good time to kind of go over points where we stand right now.
Oh, okay.
So currently in first place is Justin.
Yeah, boy.
With 4.
That's right, bitches.
So that means that both shows that we've watched from Justin's,
he's gotten all the points.
Got all the points.
That's right.
Impressive.
What was it? Mighty Ducks in this show?
Yeah, Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
I can't believe you got a full 2 points for Mighty Ducks. Okay. I'm going to go back on Mighty Ducks.
Let's vote.
Let's
vote for if I get an extra point.
We'll talk about that in a second. Okay.
John.
I have 3.5, so I've lost 1.5 points. And John, depending on how
0.5. I have 0.5.
You have minus 1.
No. We did this. We did a trivia.
You're trying to me, aren't you?
No.
John, hold on. John did this survey to say, "Hey, should I get a point for Dragon Ball Z? Because I'm really butthurt that I didn't get a point. Because I really like this show." Blah blah blah.
That's not what it said.
Okay. And you all were wrong and gave him a point.
Justin,
all of you are completely wrong.
I don't care. Percentage right
that
now
show is crap. I don't care how much y'all like this when you were a kid. Go back and watch it. It is crap.
So this led to us actually having a pretty heated text conversation
very heated
about what we're going to do about the points. So what we're going to do, because of this fiasco, we're going to give John his points.
No, I'm completely against this.
But every time we mention John's point, we're going to say he either has point, like right now he has 0.5 or negative 0.5, depending on the way you look at it.
Asterisk. Asterisk.
There's going to be an asterisk next to John's scores.
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
All right, so you guys lost 71 to 29%.
Whatever.
And all those... Hold on. You know what? No. You're all wrong. Okay? All of you are wrong. I don't care.
There's a second, like it was like the first day. There was more no's than yes. I was like, yeah. And then all of a sudden the next day.
And then all of you disappointed me.
So what we're going to do now based on because we had a heated discussion about what we're going to do about the points.
We are never going to do this again.
We're going to do a separate point. So we want the fans to decide what the best show that we watch is. Every week we'll put up another trivia, and based on how many people vote for it, yes or no, if it was good or not.
It'll be like the fan.
Yeah.
It'll be like whoever won when it comes to the fan.
And at the end, we'll rate who wins the fan vote for the best shows and movies that we've watched. So we'll do that. We'll start this week. We'll start next week with the next show because that'll be the second cycle. So we won't do Animaniacs. We'll do a little.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll start that soon. So go down there and vote if you liked what we watched and tell us what you think of it.
And if you didn't like it, be honest.
Yeah.
If you didn't like it when you were a little
or if you didn't watch it, don't vote.
Everyone that voted,
I have a feeling
that show.
We told you what they had to do was have a picture of them watching with a newspaper telling us what day it was.
They weren't
None
going to
of
do
you
that.
did that.
They weren't going to do that.
So therefore,
I
none of you
wasn't going
watched.
to ask my fans to do that, okay?
Oh man, that was hilarious. Justin's really mad. So yeah,
We did have a very heated
We
text
did,
message
we did.
about it. It was,
So
what was it,
anyways,
for like
John has
5
had his
hours?
points.
I got my point.
You got your
I got my point.
with the asterisk next to it.
No,
So John has
it's not like the Hall
John
of
has a
Fame.
boner for DBZ.
It's not like the Hall of Fame crap where they like get the
You are
home
the-
run, like the most home runs in a season, and then they want to put asterisks right next to
Yes,
it.
it is.
So again,
No, it's not.
So again, the standings are: Justin has 4, I have 3.5.
I have
Justin
0.5.
John has 0.5 or negative 0.5,
I have
depending on the way you look
0.5.
at it.
I have 0.5.
I look at it as
I'm
negative.
not gonna let you
0.5.
take this away from me.
All right.
All right, so we'll be doing next week.
We're doing Little Giants.
Right. It's the first week of the NFL regular season,
Yep.
and we're gonna go back and watch John's show, which movie.
So I watched this a lot with my dad. He was a football coach, so it was one of the only movies that we could kind of watch together. Mm-hmm. And I really enjoyed it because of that reason.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really funny. There was a lot of funny moments that I remembered just off the top of my head right now.
I'm really interested in this because I remember liking this when I was little, but I feel like this might be we'll see.
I like Rick
Yeah.
Moranis, so
Rick,
like
I-
what?
I love Rick Moranis.
he's perfect in every
the
single way.
dad. Of
Oh,
Ice-
yeah.
of Icebox.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
great. Yeah.
Darth Helmet.
He was
Darth
probably
Helmet. Honey, I
probably
Shrunk
the
the
most famous actor in the movie at the time.
Yeah, he was above credits in Ed O'Neill, and Ed O'Neill was doing Married Children and stuff, so he was a bigger deal than that.
Yeah.
We'll watch
I
that.
love Ed O'Neill too.
I like Ed O'Neill too. I'm excited about this. I really liked it when I was little. I can tell you my story about it next week when we wrap it, when we talk about it. But,
All right, cool.
I have no stories about it.
You watched this when you were little?
I did, but I don't have a story.
Okay, cool. All right, well,
okay.
cool. We'll watch that next
That's
week.
so sad because it's such a it's such a great movie
see.
that brings people together.
It does.
I don't like that.
Underdogs. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. You want to do where you can find us, John?
Oh, okay. So we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Another Man's Pod. Go follow us on any of those platforms. You can also find our podcast on YouTube. We also put videos out every Thursday of just like little clips of the podcast. It's just kind of a visual that goes with what we're talking about. Chris does that. He does a great job actually doing that.
Yes, thank you all for listening. Thank you for everybody who's rated us on iTunes. Still 5 stars, which is cool. Go on there and rate us if you don't, or if you haven't yet.
Leave a comment.
And there's a couple other I guess platforms that people have rated us on too.
Yeah.
It's not just iTunes. iTunes, if you do rate us, it helps other people find us though. So if you have an iPhone or if you have some type of Apple device, please go over there and rate us.
Yep.
It would really help us out.
And thank you. Yeah, and and we're just really excited about all the fans. It keeps growing, and that's the most important thing. Is that
Oh yeah,
our fan
it
base
grows every single week and it's awesome.
Yep, it is. So thank you. We will see you next week with Little Giants, and be sure to check out the YouTube page. Thank you all.
Peace.
Goodbye, nurse.